dad of 6, vanished one night and never returned. 20 years later, Mom discovers why. In the quiet of an ordinary evening, George disappeared, leaving a void in the fabric of his family's life that no amount of time could mend. He was the cornerstone of their world, a loving husband to Nora, and a dedicated father to their children, whose laughter filled the corners of their home. His sudden absence turned their lives into a tapestry of unanswered questions and silent meals, where his chair stood as a constant reminder of the loss they bore. George's life, as known to his family, was a shield masking the truth of his double existence. Beneath the veneer of an everyday father and spouse lay the heart of a man entangled in the web of international espionage. This secret life was one of shadows and danger, a world so far removed from the domestic bliss of school runs and bedtime stories. The night he vanished, a chill settled over the house, a prelude to the coming storm. George had been called away on what was supposed to be a routine mission, but fate, with its indifferent gaze, had other plans. The mission spiraled out of control, thrusting him into the murky waters of betrayal and leaving him with a harrowing choice. To protect the ones he cherished most, George stepped into the void, erasing his presence from their lives to shield them from the crossfire of his enemies. For years, Nora and the children grappled with the mystery of his disappearance, each day a struggle to piece together a puzzle missing its most crucial piece. The silence of his absence was a heavy cloak, smothering their hopes and dreams under its weight. They were left to imagine 1,000 different reasons for his leaving, none coming close to the truth of his sacrifice. The truth about George's life and disappearance remained locked away, a secret buried under layers of lies and covert operations. His family, kept in the dark, could only speculate, their imaginations painting pictures of what might have happened on the night he failed to return. In the end, George's decision to vanish, a desperate act born out of love, became his legacy, casting a long shadow over the memories they cherished. The heartache of his absence was a testament to the depth of his love, a love that drove him to disappear into the night to keep them safe. In the quiet stillness of their home, where the laughter and warmth of George once filled every corner, a profound silence took hold, punctuated only by the soft whispers of resilience from Nora. The sudden and inexplicable disappearance of George, a man who was the very foundation of their family, left a gaping void that seemed to swallow the light from their lives. His absence was a constant presence, an unanswered question that loomed over them like an unforgiving shadow. Nora, now both mother and father to her children, navigated the turbulent waters of grief and responsibility with a grace that belied the turmoil churning within her. Every bad time story, every scraped knee she tended to alone, and every milestone celebrated without George's proud gaze was a testament to her unwavering strength. The weight of her new reality pressed down on her shoulders, yet she stood undaunted, a beacon of hope in the eyes of her children, who looked to her for reassurance in a world that had suddenly become unpredictable and frightening. The family, once a vibrant tapestry of joy and unity, found themselves navigating a new existence that was tinged with the melancholy of loss. The mystery of George's fate, a puzzle with missing pieces, haunted their every moment. They were a ship adrift at sea, with Nora at the helm, steering them through the fog of uncertainty with a determination that was as inspiring as it was heartbreaking. Unbeknownst to them, the truth behind George's disappearance was as extraordinary as it was harrowing. George's life, a tapestry woven with threads of danger and secrecy, had forced him into the shadows, away from the family he adored more than life itself. His love for them was a beacon that guided him in his darkest hours, a love so profound that he chose to vanish into the night to keep them safe from the threats that lurked just beyond their peaceful existence. In the quiet moments, Nora would gaze out the window, her eyes searching the horizon for any sign of George, her heart aching for his return. Yet with each passing day, she gathered the fragments of their shattered life, weaving them into a new narrative of hope and resilience. The mystery of George's fate remained, a silent question mark in their lives. But Nora's love and determination forged a path forward for her family, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable loss. In the soft glow of dawn, Nora found herself wandering through the cobblestone streets of a sleepy Mediterranean village, the kind of place where secrets seemed to seep through the cracks in the ancient walls. It was here, far from the life she had built in the wake of George's enigmatic disappearance, that fate had steered her towards a discovery that would unravel the tapestry of lies and sacrifices that had shrouded her family for 20 long years. The journey began unexpectedly, with a cryptic note tucked into an old dusty book in the corner of a quaint village bookstore, a book George had always promised they'd read together. The handwriting, unmistakably his, hinted at a secret so profound, so perilous, that it had compelled him to vanish from the lives of those he cherished most. Driven by a mix of dread and longing, Nora traced the clues with trembling hands, each step drawing her deeper into the labyrinth of George's hidden world. As the Mediterranean sun cast long shadows across the narrow streets, Nora's quest led her to a secluded cafe, where the past was about to spill into the present. There she met a man who knew George, not as a devoted husband and father, but as a shadowy moving silently in the dangerous dance of international espionage. The man's words, though spoken softly, hit Nora like a storm, revealing George's double life. A life sacrificed at the altar of duty and cloaked in the guise of an ordinary existence. The revelation that George's disappearance was not an abandonment, but a desperate act of protection painted his memory in the starkly different light. He had chosen a ghost's existence, erasing his presence to shield Nora and their children from the crosshairs of a vengeful adversary, a decision born out of love but marred by an excruciating solitude. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Nora sat alone, the man's words echoing in her heart. The pain of George's absence melded with a profound respect for the depth of his sacrifice, leaving her soul adrift in a sea of conflicting emotions. The discovery of George's secret life opened old wounds, yet it also offered a salve, the knowledge that his love, though shrouded in shadows, had never waned. In this moment of revelation, Nora found herself standing on the threshold of closure, gazing into the abyss of the past with eyes wide open, ready to confront the future with a heart fortified by understanding and grace. The sun dipped low, casting long shadows through the living room where Nora and her children gathered, the air thick with tension and anticipation. The room, usually a sanctuary of familial warmth, felt charged with an unspoken question that had haunted their every step for 2 decades. Why had George disappeared? Today, they stood on the precipice of understanding, the truth unraveling before them like a tapestry woven from both love and pain. Nora, the matriarch who had weathered the storm of uncertainty and loss, held her children close, their faces a mirror of her own conflicted emotions. The revelation of George's clandestine life in the shadows of international espionage was a jagged pill to swallow, each word from the lips of George's former colleague slicing through the silence of years filled with unanswered questions. George's decision to vanish, once a source of inconsolable pain, now revealed itself as the ultimate act of love, a father and husband's desperate bid to shield his beloved family from the dark underbelly of his world. This man they had mourned, whose absence had been an open wound, was not just lost to them. He had sacrificed his presence, his identity, to ensure their safety. The gravity of this realization settled over the family, a heavy cloak woven with threads of admiration, sorrow, and a profound sense of loss. As Nora looked into the eyes of her children, she saw reflections of George's legacy, a legacy not of abandonment, but of immeasurable love and sacrifice. The floodgates of emotions burst open, tears mingling with smiles as stories of George's love, his quirks, and his unspoken heroism filled the room. It was a cathartic release, a healing ritual that began to mend the fractures of their shattered understanding. In the weeks and months that followed, the family navigated the turbulent waters of their new reality with a fragile but growing sense of peace. Conversations around the dinner table, once shadowed by the specter of George's disappearance, now shimmered with the light of his memory, transformed by the knowledge of his sacrifice. Nora and her children, each in their own way, began to weave this understanding into the fabric of their lives, finding strength in the knowledge that George's spirit had never truly left them. The journey from darkness to understanding was a testament to the unbreakable bonds of love and the profound sacrifices one is willing to make for the safety of loved ones. Nora and her children emerged from this crucible of truth with a newfound appreciation for the depth of George's love, a love that had transcended the boundaries of his secret world to touch their hearts in the deepest way possible. In the end, the family found closure not just in the answers to their long-held questions, but in the realization that love, in its truest form, is both a shield and a guiding light. As they rebuilt their lives, the legacy of George's love and sacrifice became a beacon of hope, illuminating their path forward with the warmth of his undying affection. What did you think of this incredible story? Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more.